What is going on, guys? Demikas Gaming with my review of Log Horizon Episode 4. And our episode starts off with our heroes finally arriving to Susukino, and they have to go into the city to get Seibara, because apparently if they get player killed, they will all go back to Akihara, but she will stay here and just, respawn in the cathedral in Susukino. So that means that they can't take a chance of, her getting killed or them getting killed, because that means they have to make the trip all over again. And that's something they definitely cannot let happen. So now, Shiro had a plan where he had Sakazuki using a silent and I believe it's called a sneak. Yeah, silent movement and sneak. So that way, she's out of sight. And she could come in there when like things are quiet, and that way nobody will be able to sense her. So once they enter this place, you can just see that it just run down, and it's like meant for those evil kind of players, because they definitely give off that vibe. So now Natsuko and Shiro, they have been spotted, because we see Demikas' little henchman. They're reporting to him, and I still don't know why this guy's so obsessed with like Seibara, because when they show him, he's like sitting on a pile of treasure. So you would think that he has no reason to be hunting this girl when he's like basically living as a king in his own little place. So now Natsuko and Shiro are walking around, and they come across the like little diamond kind of area, because we just see it's like covered in crystal. And when they go into the underground, that's when he finally come across Seibara. But that's not all, because Nyanta, he's also there as well. And when Shiro called him chief, I definitely knew that Nyanta was part of the Tea Party, because why else would Shiro call him that if they weren't former partners? And we all know that even though the Tea Party wasn't an official guild, they were definitely the strongest player around back then. And I was so happy when Shiro had told Nyanta that he should come with them, because that's all I ever wanted. Because I definitely want Shiro and Nyanta to work together again. And I'm so glad that we saw their teamwork in this episode. And it was also interesting how like players can have their own little private zones, because the reason why Demikas couldn't find Seibara was because she was in Nyanta's private zone, and that right there I found really interesting. It just shows you how detailed and how much stuff went into this game. So that would definitely paid off. So now they are walking through the streets, and you just see like all these players just like staring at them. And of course, there's no fighting in the city, because if you fight there, then those guardians, they'll be summoned, they'll kill you. So they were like waiting for them, to get out. And once they did get out, you just saw Demikas, right there waiting for him with all these players. And then once Shiro had called out, I believe his name was Landork, something like that. Apparently, Shiro thought that this guy was like stronger than Demikas, which really surprised me, because I thought like maybe he was their true leader, because this guy even had a nickname. So that right there like had me thinking like how powerful this guy is. But luckily, well, sadly, he didn't fight, because Demikas, he's the one that accepted their little challenge to go one-on-one. And I was laughing at how Shiro was like egging this guy on, like get his name wrong, which was like clearly on purpose. It was just to work this guy up. So now we have this fight between Demikas and Nyanta. And Nyanta class actually, it's pretty freaking cool. I did like that a lot. I believe it's called a Showa buckler, where he can use two swords, because it's like one of their dual winning classes. That right there was like pretty cool to see. I was digging it a lot. But it seemed that they were gonna have like a hard time, taking down Demikas, because at one point we saw Nyanta's help entering the red zone, and Demikas' health was still in the green, so clearly it was like he was winning. But for some, but then I'm trying to remember what happened here because I know I watched it, but I'm trying to make sure it all come back to me. Because while they were fighting, Nyanta was actually counting up his game there, because at first I can tell that this guy was like way too powerful to like be losing like this. Like, to me, it was just kind of off, because there's no way that you were the chief of the Tea Party and you can't beat a guy like Demikas. But then this guy wanted to be like a real cheater and calling all these warriors to attack Nyanta while he got healed up. And that's when my boy Natsuko came in there and had to use that anchor howl. And I'm so glad that he did that, because they should stop the guy from cheating. And Sabara, her healing spell, because she was a druid, I think it's called, so she's a healer. Her little spells were like so cute, and I am glad now, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna stick with them for a while, because they could only use those griffins, because at the end of the episode they called in those griffins. They could only use that for 4 hours a day, so it does make sense that they'll have their own little like adventure back, and she'll be with them. But once Natsuko, he came in there and they all had to attack him, his health was like really going down, because even though he was blocking them, he was still taking damage. But luckily Sabara was actually healing, and when Shiro was like talking to her, I had a feeling that he was going to motivate her, to step her game up, and he did. So now we have Natsuko showing off a new spell, which is what you call Castle of Stone, where for 10 seconds, I think it was, for 10 seconds all damage goes to 0, and that was like pretty cool. Like the way he looked when he used it, it was pretty cool. And then Shiro, finally stepped up, and he did some work where he did his thorn spell, and I was glad to see that, because I'm guessing that right there is a signature spell. And when he cast it on Demikas, Nyanta went in. He was like attacking so fast that it was hard to keep up. But then after the damage was inflicted, and it only had one hit point left, they were going to heal him again, and even that Great Steel guy was going to get involved. But my girl Akatsuki, she came in there and took them all out in a single attack. Her assassin class is amazing, and she did explain how Shiro and Nyanta was able to work so well together, because he did attack him like way too fast that it was hard to tell what was going on, especially for him to go down from like almost full health to just one hit point. So now that Demikas lost, they want to get out of there actually. But he was not going to give up that easily. And when he went to attack Shiro, that's when Sabara had came in there. And to me, I had a feeling that Shiro could be the one to like to finish the guy off, just because before she had mentioned that her level was like too low to keep healing him. And I felt like if she was the one to defeat Demikas, then she would get a huge level boost, and that way she'll be more valuable to them. So I kind of had that feeling that can happen. So now that Demikas is gone and the other guy gone, those foolish henchmen had no choice but to give up, and that's when they had called in those griffins to fly off. So now, oh yeah, and Nyanta even had one of those whistle things, the summon one. So now now Shiro has a girl Akatsuki. Nyanta has Sabara, who is going to be Natsuko's little lolly companion, because if those two have one, it's only fair that he gets 1 as well. But this episode, it was really good. I love the combat in this game, and even though Demikas was an evil guy, I did like his little monk moves, like that aura strike, his little phantom step. Now the phantom step, that right there was definitely pretty cool. I did dig that a lot. I love his little phantom step. But yeah, the episode, it was really good. I enjoyed it. But as always, guys, don't forget to like the video because that really helps me out. And please subscribe as well. But as always, you guys take it easy, and we'll see you all next time.